Big stories, big pressure, big nights at Anfield. This is Anfield Central, your home for the latest Liverpool news, transfers and sharp analysis. No noise, just what matters to real Reds. So if you love Liverpool, hit subscribe and stay ahead of every story. Let's get into it.
Manchester United plots shock move for Liverpool star Alexis McAllister. Manchester United are currently drawing up a shortlist of midfield targets, and the Argentine has emerged as a name they are monitoring closely ahead of the transfer window. Speculation has been building around McAllister's future at Anfield. Despite being under contract until 2028, the 27-year-old has endured a challenging campaign this season, struggling at times to replicate the form that made him one of the Premier League's standout midfielders. United are also tracking talents like Adam Wharton, Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson, but McAllister would represent a completely different level of statement signing, a proven elite performer with experience on the biggest stage. Of course, prizing him away from Liverpool would be enormously complicated. The rivalry between the two clubs remains one of the fiercest in world football, and direct transfers are virtually unheard of. While players like Michael Owen and Paul Ince have represented both sides during their careers, no player has moved directly between the clubs since Phil Chisnell's transfer from United to Liverpool back in 1964. There's also the question of whether McAllister would even consider the move. He has previously spoken about a desire to play in Spain at some stage of his career, which could complicate any approach from Manchester. United are fully aware that signing a player of his caliber would likely depend on securing Champions League qualification this season. Without that, convincing him to make the switch would be extremely difficult. However, co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe is determined to keep all options open as he reshapes the squad. If McAllister were to become available, United would be ready to explore the opportunity. McAllister joined Liverpool from Brighton in a £55 million deal in 2023 and quickly proved his value, playing a key role in their Premier League title triumph last season. Internationally, he cemented his reputation by helping Argentina lift the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, starring in the dramatic final victory over France. For now, this remains a situation to watch, but if the door opens even slightly, Manchester United appear ready to test one of football's fiercest rivalries in pursuit of a world-class midfielder.
Bayern Munich, still dreaming of Florian Wirtz, returned despite losing him to Liverpool FC last summer. The Bundesliga champions were beaten in the race for the German international as Liverpool shattered their transfer record to sign him from Bayer Leverkusen in a £116 million deal. That fee briefly made Wirtz the most expensive signing in Liverpool's history before he was overtaken by £125 million striker Alexander Isak. Initially, there were questions over whether Wirtz could justify that price tag in the Premier League, but under Arne Slot, the 22-year-old has started to flourish. He now has 6 goals and 8 assists in 35 appearances across all competitions, gradually establishing himself as a key figure for the reigning Premier League champions. However, Liverpool's grip on Europe's elite competition is far from secure. They currently sit 6th in the table, 2 points behind Chelsea FC and 3 adrift of Manchester United, leaving their Champions League hopes hanging in the balance. And that uncertainty could offer Bayern a window of opportunity. Reports suggest Bayern have re-established contact with Wirtz's camp, with honorary president Uli Hoeneß personally reaching out to the player's father and agent. The move is described as calculated rather than reactive, a strategic attempt to rebuild what's being called emotional proximity. The message from Munich was clear: congratulations on his recent progress and a reminder that the doors of the Allianz Arena remain open. It's a tactic Bayern have used before. They employed a similar long-term approach to bring Leroy Sané back from Manchester City in 2020 after 4 years in England. Despite Bayern's renewed interest, there is no immediate cause for panic at Anfield. Wirtz signed a 5-year contract when he arrived, keeping him tied to Liverpool until 2030. That gives the club significant leverage, and any potential suitor would have to pay a premium to even start negotiations. In fact, Wirtz's father has reportedly informed Bayern, now managed by Vincent Kompany, that his son views his Liverpool move as a long-term project, not a temporary stop in his career. There is said to be no conceivable scenario in which Wirtz would swap Anfield for Bayern in the near future. He is also not tempted by interest from Spain's giants, including FC Barcelona or Real Madrid CF at this stage. That said, football can change quickly. If Liverpool were to miss out on Champions League football for consecutive seasons, the situation could evolve. But as things stand, Bayern's admiration appears to be more long-term strategy than imminent threat. For now, Liverpool fans can breathe easy. Their blossoming star looks firmly committed to the Anfield project.
Chelsea and Manchester United approached Jurgen Klopp after Liverpool exit, agent reveals. Jurgen Klopp was approached by both Chelsea FC and Manchester United after leaving Liverpool FC, that's according to his longtime agent Mark Kasike. Klopp stepped down at Anfield in May 2024 after 9 transformative years, bringing his reign to an emotional end before later accepting a new role as head of global football at Red Bull GmbH in January. Despite publicly insisting he would not return to management anytime soon, Europe's elite have continued to circle. Kasike has now confirmed that Chelsea and Manchester United both made inquiries after Klopp's departure, even though the German had made it clear he would not manage another English club. And it wasn't just Premier League interest. Klopp was recently linked with Real Madrid CF, following the dismissal of Xabi Alonso, before former Liverpool defender Alvaro Arbeloa was appointed on an interim basis. However, Kasike has played down any immediate return to the dugout. "At the moment, I don't see that happening," he said. "He's very happy with his new role and in this environment. Maybe at some point he'll say he needs to smell the locker room again, but right now he's very, very happy." Before joining Red Bull, Klopp also had opportunities on the international stage. According to Kasike, he could have taken charge of the USA or England national teams, and possibly even Germany had Julian Nagelsmann not already been in place. Kasike added that the interest hasn't stopped, but stressed that Klopp has undergone something of a metamorphosis, shifting from hands-on coach to a broader management and leadership role. There was also serious interest from Bayern Munich, not once but twice. The first approach came in 2008, when honorary president Uli Hoeneß wanted Klopp, while Karl-Heinz Rummenigge preferred Jurgen Klinsmann. The second attempt arrived in 2019, after Niko Kovac was sacked, at a time when Klopp was at the peak of his powers with Liverpool. Ultimately, Bayern canned to Hansi Flick, a decision that led to remarkable success, and the timing simply wasn't right. For now, though, Klopp appears content away from the touchline. The speculation may never truly fade, especially whenever a European giant changes manager. But as things stand, the former Liverpool boss seems firmly committed to his new chapter.
Liverpool draw Wolves away in FA Cup 5th round. Liverpool FC will travel to face Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup 5th round, setting up a busy return to Molineux next month. The draw confirmed that the Reds, who were ball number 1, will head to Wolves on the weekend commencing March 7th, just days after facing them in the Premier League on March 3rd. It means Arne Slot's side will make back-to-back trips to the Midlands in the space of a week, with domestic and cup ambitions firmly on the line. Liverpool booked their place in the last 16 with victories over Barnsley FC and Brighton and Hove Albion in the previous rounds, navigating tricky ties to stay on course in the competition. Wolves, meanwhile, edged past Grimsby Town 1-0 to secure their own spot in the 5th round. Despite being a top-flight clash, Liverpool may view the tie as a favourable one on paper. Wolves are currently bottom of the Premier League table with just 1 league win all season and have lost 3 of their last 4 league matches. Still, cup football has a habit of rewriting form books, and Wolves hope home advantage can spark something special. Elsewhere in the draw, the standout fixture sees Manchester City take on Newcastle United in a heavyweight encounter. Pep Guardiola's side recently knocked the Magpies out of the Carabao Cup, and the two teams also meet in the league this weekend. There's also a big opportunity for Mansfield Town, who are rewarded with a home tie against Premier League leaders Arsenal FC. Chelsea FC will travel to face Wrexham FC, while several other all-league matchups round out an intriguing 5th round lineup. Liverpool remain one of 11 Premier League sides still in the competition, and with silverware firmly in sight, this upcoming double-header at Molineux could prove pivotal in shaping their season. Harvey Elliott struggles at Aston Villa as Liverpool loanees experience mixed fortunes. Liverpool FC have several players gaining experience away from Anfield this season, but the results have been mixed, and for Harvey Elliott it's proving particularly frustrating. The attacking midfielder was once again left out of the squad as Aston Villa fell to a 3-1 FA Cup defeat against Newcastle United. In fact, since coming off the bench against Brentford on February 1st, Elliott hasn't featured at all. During that spell, Villa have drawn with Bournemouth and lost to Brighton in the Premier League. Manager Unai Emery has already made it clear that a permanent deal for Elliott is not currently on his agenda, despite that being the expectation when the loan move was agreed last summer. Emery admitted the situation is complicated by clauses in the agreement with Liverpool. "We have been fair because there are two ways, sport and business," he explained. "I told Harvey I am opening the door for you to play with us because you can help us, but it's not only on my side." He added that Liverpool hold the key due to specific clauses regarding appearances and a potential option to buy. "My sport decision is still there. You deserve to play. We need your qualities," Emery said. "But if the clauses are still there, Liverpool have the key. It will be fair for him if they take them off." Talks over those clauses reportedly began 3 months ago, but no resolution has been reached. For now, Elliott remains in limbo, praised for his professionalism, yet struggling for minutes. Elsewhere, Kostas Tsimikas is finding it difficult to establish himself at AS Roma. The left-back has played roughly 400 minutes in Serie A so far, with more opportunities coming in the Europa League rather than domestic competition. There is better news for Luke Chambers at Charlton Athletic. The 21-year-old has started every championship match since his arrival last month and was even named player of the match against Leicester, marking an impressive start to life in London. Lewis Koumas also featured for Hull City this weekend, though it ended in a heavy defeat to Chelsea FC. The youngster moved to the East Coast after a spell at Birmingham, seeking more regular game time. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Vítislav Jaros is enjoying a breakthrough campaign at AFC Ajax. He has secured the #1 spot, kept 5 clean sheets in the Eredivisie, and gained valuable Champions League experience, even though Ajax exited at the group stage. In League One, Callum Scallon joined Wigan Athletic during the winter window, where fellow defender Isaac Mabaya is also on loan, although Mabaya has managed just 42 league minutes so far. So while some Liverpool loanees are thriving, others face uncertainty, and with the season entering a decisive phase, their development away from Anfield remains one to watch closely.